All right, so we have the very talented and awesome Ajile with us here. Stoked to sync up with you today. I know it's been a minute as well since we've connected, so always fun talking with you, the stuff. But
Always fun talking to you, Chris. I always learn something.
yeah, love it. And look, so before you got involved with us at the Hire Closer, course and community, I mean, was there something specifically you were looking for? Like, what was going on that made you like really want to be a part of like what we're doing over here?
I was looking for a beacon. It had
Hmm.
gotten really foggy and funky in the closing world for remote closing.
Yeah,
Um, the offer I was on made me feel like I was living in the movie Animal House, literally. Like
yeah.
one of the lead sales person got on the call with no shirt. And I thought, why am
Uh,
I here? This is nuts. And proceeded to address all of the salespeople as animals.
oh
So,
gosh.
yeah, no. And I
Yep.
thought, I'm a professional. I've had a lot of years in sales, in person, face to face. It does translate over Zoom. People care that you know what you're talking about and they care that you care. So that's when they open up and you can go through, the pillars and the pain and getting them to understand how your product or service is going to be beneficial to them and move forward with the close. Most
Yep.
often a PIF, right?
Yep.
But if you're not in a space where the leadership values you or them or their customers as whole people, it
Mhm.
just becomes nuts. It's unprofessional. It's unfair to folks who are really viewing this seriously. And I'm coming from knowing you through a different platform where education was focused on and being disciplined was focused on and showing up on time and professionally was focused on.
Yeah.
I decided, you know what, I'm just going to take a step back from this and maybe, if need be, have to return to my career in a more traditional brick and mortar way. So I was really kind of weighing those pros and cons because I was tired of the fake and the phony
Mm.
in the remote closing space.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. So for you, I mean, realistically, you were just looking for a little light at the end of the tunnel to
Yeah, I
find
wanted,
like a best opportunity for
I
you,
wanted
which
someone
would
like
be,
you who knows what they're doing to
uh,
provide me with connection to other like-minded individuals who also want to build something that's real with
yeah,
real salespeople and a real offer.
yeah,
Um, I didn't want to be in part of any get-rich-quick scams or schemes or you're advertising for people, you're providing a service when you really don't have the skill set or the infrastructure to provide that service. Mm.
mm, yes, okay, cool. And kind of piggybacking off that, I mean, like you don't have to go into the like specifics of names or other businesses or courses or anything you've taken previously. We both kind of know are at that, but I mean, you've obviously invested in other sales and training, programs before this, obviously, right?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely. I
so
believe in education. You're going to have to pay to know stuff, or you're going
yeah,
to pay because you don't know stuff.
yeah,
One way
100%.
or the other. It's a lot easier to pay up front than to pay later.
You're right. I love that. But I mean, just kind of like again, tackling that and doing a little bit more of a deeper dive. I mean, when we were kind of talking back and forth, on Facebook, and I was kind of explaining the process of how I could help you, and this is a real thing, and
Hmm.
I know that I could get you connected to the right opportunities. You were definitely skeptical of that. It
Yes.
took a minute for you to kind of be like, okay, like I'm ready to finally do this, right, and like move forward. Now, was that just because of what you've been through in the past, or is this you were tired of like taking another course, or can you kind of like walk me through why you were feeling that way a little bit?
Well, the thought process was I'd been on an offer that kind of imploded, and
Okay.
several of my colleagues were also on that offer.
Hmm.
And we were part of the growth in that offer. We were all excited. So as we were systematically let go, it
Mm.
became clear that there was something with the offer that was outside of our
Got it.
control. Of course, we stayed in touch. This is very much a niche environment here in the high ticket closer space.
Mm.
And in that, other people connect you to other people, right? Just like real estate, just like Wall Street,
Yep.
positions, whatever you do, you're connecting to other people who are in your field. So to that end, some folks had reached out to me about another offer, got on that one, and it literally imploded with crazy. So at
Mm.
that point, I think when I saw there were other options to be connected to offers, I was super, super, super skeptical because
Gotcha.
I thought this is just another play for me to pay into something, be a great student for information that I may already have, to perhaps be exposed to an offer that the person providing the offer doesn't really know back of house how solid it is or insolvent it is.
Hmm.
So I really didn't want to spend time in the fourth quarter when I knew I had a lot on my plate. You know, I'm a grown up. I
Yeah.
have grown up things.
Yeah.
I have people that depend on me economically and spiritually.
Hmm.
I'm a big part of my family, multi-generationally. So I wanted to be able to provide. I've always been able to provide. Education lets me do that. So I thought, more education in this space, or do I really need, old school, like a headhunter? I need someone who gets me
Yeah.
to plug me into someone who gets me that I get.
Hmm.
So that it's put me in the game, coach, but what's the right team for you? I needed to be at the combine, right? So I could get picked up by the right team that needs what I have and
Yeah.
vice versa. I didn't need to be in training camp.
Yeah. That's a perfect analogy. Yes. I love it. And kind of like from your experience, I mean, what's been the difference between, us thus far and like what you've experienced out there and taking other courses or programs, et cetera? And I know you haven't been with us too long, which we'll get to in a second, but I'm just curious, like, what do you think's
Well,
been the
this is
difference?
you do what you do. This is hired closer, not
Yeah.
looking for a job closer. Not let's figure it
That's
out
right.
closer. Not let me
Yeah.
train you for 10 years closer. Not
Yeah.
let's write a dissertation closer. It's hired.
Yeah.
So I very quickly got hired when I
Yeah.
followed the steps.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it was more about, again, that old school. To me, I'm
Yeah.
viewing it as how one develops their career. When people
Yeah.
see in you what you're capable of in your career, they want you to work with organizations that can appreciate that and
Mm.
that can see
Yeah.
you flourish in that space. And as a result, they do well in that area by hiring you.
Yes.
Your organization and what you've brought to the table, which is different than things that I've been in before, where the focus was on learning how this is.
Yeah.
I know sales. Did I know how to do sales over Zoom? No, sir. I found out about remote closing because I've been selling real estate forever. And when everything shut down, I was like, well, how do I close it remotely? Let's Google it. And up popped remote closing. Went
Yeah.
down that kind of roadway, got educated, got into it, love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in terms of understanding where your career is and what you bring to the table, you really need someone who's skilled at understanding what these offers really need, how serious they are, and where they are in their development, and then matching them with setters and closers that are in that space to create that synergy. And
Yes.
that's what you did. So when it's like that, it's not 10 years. It's not 10 months. It's not 10 weeks. For me, it was like more like 10 minutes. And I was tired.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Well, let's get down to the good stuff because we'll piggyback off that. But I mean, how realistically, how long did it really take you to get hired since you jumped in here with us?
5 days.
5 days.
Well, really 4.
Yeah.
Because when I got off the second call, I knew she was going to hire me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a love fest. And I was like, oh, this is it. I prayed
Yeah.
on this. She prayed on it. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Well, especially that she was messaging me saying, "Yeah, she's the best. I love her." So I kind of
Yeah.
knew just a little bit, what was going on there. But awesome. Well, you mentioned also though to me that you had other offers that
Yes.
you were talking with, interviewing as well, coming
Yes.
in too, right? At the same token.
Yes.
So that's pretty awesome.
Yes.
Just as
I
doing
had
some like,
2
outreach.
more in this space and one external to the space that only reached out to me because they saw the work that I was doing as a result of being in this space. Understanding the LinkedIn component.
Yeah.
Yeah, my LinkedIn was not linked or in. My LinkedIn was a desert of nothing.
Yeah.
With it's like she sells real estate. That was
Yeah.
it. I hadn't set it up. It was set up for me years ago, and I think maybe
Yeah.
I'd updated the picture and taken a Facebook picture. Rebecca was so amazing in walking me through, literally understanding how powerful of a platform LinkedIn is.
Yeah.
Part of my reluctance to come into Hired Closer was because I was getting so much push from LinkedIn
Mm.
regarding things that fit more of what I did before I became a remote closer. So they're
Interesting.
reaching out to me to do, hybrid, managing director, CFO, things
Yeah.
that are at a different level. The salaries are great, but that's not where I am.
Yeah.
I've chosen to be a remote closer because I want to work from home. This is the time of my life where my care story has begun and I want to care for my family. I want to be hands on deck. So for
Yes.
me to remote close and meet my financial goals as well as my alignment goals, I needed a professional that was going to help me attract that, understanding what that took on LinkedIn, the way Rebecca walks you through it and shows you how that breaks down, and the physicality of literally, okay, no, you can't just type in this part. You have to literally use this third-party thing, create this font, put it over. Oh, that's why it's been looking crazy forever. That's why I had a circle in the middle of my own head on my banner on LinkedIn. Like,
Yeah.
what? So yeah, understanding the literal breakdown of how things happen
Yeah.
then make you more appealing to what you're looking to attract, the kind of work you really want to do. And then those people reach out.
Yeah. That's simple, right? That's a beautiful thing.
That's simple. Like you get on the Zoom, you listen to what Chris's team is telling you, you do it, and there you go.
There you go. Done deal, right?
Yeah.
So again,
It's not
like
rocket science.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like, what's been the most valuable part for you so far about the comedian program, in your opinion, that you've witnessed?
You and the team.
Just
Because it demystifies it. It's like this is marketing.
Yeah.
To get hired, you have to market yourself. But if it's unclear, if it's ambiguous, if the digital piece is not matching who you are, you don't even get this opportunity for the FaceTime to have the conversation, to show the energy, to show how amazing you are at doing what you do. If you can't get in the door because your LinkedIn is a hot mess express like mine was, or because your technology is dated, or your lighting isn't appropriate, or I got on a training and there were a few people mentioning that their time didn't work with the interview schedule. Excuse me, what? Adjust your time.
Yeah.
Make it happen. So if you're hungry, you're genuinely hungry. That's always been, are you hungry or are you coachable? You can be hungry and coachable all day long, but if your LinkedIn says I'm lazy and I sell seashells by the seashore, they're not going to call you.
Yes.
And that was the piece that I didn't even recognize when I thought this is such an obscure thing. It seems like I have to consistently come out of pocket thousands and thousands of dollars to just have an introduction. When that's not actually true. You have to meet someone like you who streamlined the process, come into this community, follow the steps, and then you avail yourself to having the opportunity.
Yes, 100%. Love it. Love hearing that. And one last question. Before we go, would you recommend us to any SDR, setter, closer, salesperson looking to get hired quickly or struggling to find and land the best sales opportunities?
Well, the funny thing is this morning I was on with my girls, my closer setter group, and they're like, oh my God, how did it go? And I was like, oh, who's starting work on Monday? This girl. And they're like, there's no way. Like, do you have a mock? Do you have to do onboarding of this? No. It was literally, I signed up on Monday. I was hired the following Monday.
Yep.
Because every day I was doing, how do I get this Canva thing together to put it on my LinkedIn to make it better? How do I fill out the who you are part on the LinkedIn page? How do I identify these other companies that I want to work with? How do I identify if they have closer positions available by following the tools you taught me on the LinkedIn? How do I make sure I'm presenting myself in the best energy? So then getting on a call with the other coach and watching some people kind of kvetch. I was like, oh, you got to keep the energy high. You got to remain who you are. And it's great to be that person, but you have to be in front of the right folks. So yeah, I totally said to the girls, are there any guys in my group? I think there's 2 guys in the group. Yeah, you should call him. Because I am the queen of, it was either going to be, I'm kicking the door in and demanding a company that I know, love, and trust to hire me as a remote closer. I'm going to have to go back to brick and mortar and be really unhappy for a minute. So I am blessed and grateful to have had the opportunity to listen to you. You said, give it a shot. I did. But most importantly, I didn't push back on any of the steps. If it was on the to-do on the calendar, I was either there or I was literally on an interview. If she said this is what it takes, this is the size of the thing that has to go in the picture, I'm doing it. You have to download the Loom to create the video to say, do it. I'm gonna do it. I might do it. Let me think about it. No, just do it.
Yes.
And then you get the results.
Yeah. I love it. I really appreciate you putting in the work every day and making it happen for yourself. I think it just shows. I mean, your work ethic too, at the same time, and just what you're about as a human being. So
I
that's
think it matters because you align with people who know what you're about. You
yeah,
are a person who cuts through the malarkey,
yeah,
and you're like, no, no, trust me, this is what it is. Actually, I was like, it can't be.
yeah. Awesome. Well, I look forward to hearing more wins and accolades over the course of time, and I'll be super excited to connect with you ongoing, of course,
Oh, I'll
in
be
the future
calling
too.
you in about 32 days as I'm sitting on my first super fat
Yeah.
deposit of my first month in
Love it.
my fabulous new center position. Killing it. I'm so
Yeah.
excited. My team is awesome. My sales leader is awesome. My
Yeah.
product is phenomenal. And yeah,
Love it.
2024 is going to be popping. I'm so excited.
Let's go. I love it.
Thank you, Chris. I can't thank you enough. My
Yeah.
family thanks you. We're all excited.